Hello everyone, Aric Hall with the Blaze of Glory. Well, I'm standing out here at Brown's Park, Brown's National Wildlife Refuge to be more precise. This is just north of Dinosaur Valley National Monument. Now there's been several other Forrest Fenn search tubers that have been to Dinosaur Valley, so I figured I have to add my name to the list. Aside from the fact that I wanted to see the dinosaur bones because I'd never been out here, there was a slight interest at one point coming out to Dinosaur Valley because of the treasure hunt. Now, the only way the poem can get you here is with a little bit of colorful massaging to the poem. The Green River, which flows through here, starts a few miles southeast of Yellowstone, so I have no idea what you would use for a warm waters halt unless it's the glaciers and snowpack up at Gannett Peak and the Wind River Range, which is just above the headwaters of the Green River. But anyway, you come down here to Brown's Park and the Brown National Wildlife Refuge, and just south of where I'm standing is a boat ramp. This is absolutely beautiful country, just because there's absolutely nothing here. Listen to the sound of silence. There's very few places in this country that you can still go and see absolutely nothing. It's a nice place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live here. Well now, here I am at the put-in below the home of the Brown Wildlife Refuge at the Green River.
This is the boat ramp.
This place is friggin' awesome. I just had a conversation with one of the locals, somebody who likes to talk a lot. He said, just down the road is one of Butch Cassidy's hideout spots.
Let's leave the home of Brown for just a minute, and let us go to the John Jarvie Ranch, which is back upstream in the Green River, just across into Utah. This is one of the places where Butch Cassidy and his crowd hid out in the famous dugout. Now, at some other time, a group of thugs showed up to rob Mr. Jarvie of the money or whatever he had in his safe, and when they finished, they murdered him, put Mr. Jarvie in a boat, and floated him downriver, where he was found several days later. I don't really think this place has anything to do with Forrest Fenn or his treasure hunt. Besides, it's in Utah. But it was an interesting sideshow. I had to go see it. It's one of those tourist spots that few people will visit. And since the locals told me about it, I had to take a detour and go out there.
And if you cross the river over the suspension bridge, just over my shoulder, I think it's about 3 miles, there's a very narrow canyon where the rocks actually stick out over the top of you. Now, in my lowrider car, I'm not going out there, but that might be a neat place to visit if you have a Jeep. If there's a narrow canyon like that, there's also a creek. Maybe it's a no place for the meek. For those of you city people who have no idea what the middle of nowhere is like, this is it. It's a great stargazer's destination if there was no smoky haze around. We had a cold front come through this morning, so it's cleared the air out a bit. But from where I'm standing, I'm 70 miles or better to the nearest gas station. There's, I brought some snacks, water, but it occurred to me a few minutes ago that I don't have near enough food and supplies to make it out here 2 or 3 days if I was stranded. You're supposed to be a better prepared little Boy Scout than this.
This is the one-lane bridge across the Green River, basically connecting Brown National Wildlife Refuge back to Dinosaur Valley National Monument. The water, despite having a green cast, is perfectly clear. It's many feet deep, yet I can see the beer cans and ripple marks on the bottom. Now we're headed back towards the gates of Lodore.
Okay, you can probably see over my shoulder there is another boat ramp, another put-in. This one is actually just below the Brown Wildlife Refuge and is in the north end of Dinosaur Valley National Monument. I'm on my way now into the opening of the gates of Lodore. I finally made it to the gates of Lodore. This is in the north end of Dinosaur Valley National Monument. Could this be the no place for the meek that Forrest Fenn referred to? It is below the Brown National Wildlife Refuge. If you went through here in a raft during the flood season, you may or may not make it out the other side. There's a sequence of canyons. If you went through the whole length of this canyon, it's a number of miles, and there's 2 or 3 canyons. John Wesley Powell, the guy that explored so much of the western United States, he went through here, and he went in through the gates of Lodore.
That completes our journey through Brown's Wildlife Refuge. Remember to click like, share, subscribe, and donate.